everyone. Welcome to the IEEE PES podcast series. I myself Shraddha and I have my co-host Sangeeta with me. Today we are honored to have with us distinguished guest Gokulmuthu, who has extensive experience in industry, particularly in areas like IoT, smart grid technologies, data-driven solutions, and product development. He is currently working in ITRON, contributing to innovative solutions in the energy and technology sector. In addition to his technical expertise, he is also the author of the book Essence of the Bhagavad Gita for Modern Minds, where he beautifully connects ancient wisdom with the modern day challenges. Sir, it's very pleasure to have with you us today. Welcome to the podcast series, sir.
Yeah, thank you. And
To begin with, could you please introduce yourself? Let us know more about you, sir.
yeah, my name is Gokulmuthu, and so I did my BTech in electrical and electronics, and then I did my master's in computer science, and then so when I was doing my master's, I had another colleague who was doing his PhD, and after completing PhD, he started a startup based on his PhD work. So they were looking for people, and he asked me if I can join his startup. And then I joined, and we continued there and worked on multiple things, starting from compiler tools and various messaging protocols and things like that. And then there was another MNC for which we were running an offshore development center. And that MNC wanted to acquire us, which was a good thing. So we merged with that MNC called, so the startup which I joined was called Synergy Infotech. And then the MNC was called Sonim Technologies. So I continued there. And after a few years there, the people who had started the original startup, they were in ITRON, and they were looking for people. So they asked me to come over there, and I went to ITRON. So, and for the past 10 years, I've been with ITRON. And ITRON, this is a electrical engineer. The work is more electrical engineering combined with computer science, data science, and all that. So ITRON basically provides the infrastructure, hardware, network, software, analytics, all infrastructure for utility companies, electricity, water, gas, street lights. So all these utility companies, ITRON provides the infrastructure. So like say, for example, if you take BESCOM, of course, BESCOM is not one of our customers, but a company like BESCOM, if you take San Diego Electric or SCE or so PG&E, like, so there are a lot of electric utilities. So we have meters which are installed in the houses under that electricity company, and we have network systems. So we have RF network hubs, repeaters, and then the data collection is done. And then we have cloud software where all the data comes, and then the data is so one thing. So basically, like, this is the smart meter infrastructure is basically industrial IoT system. So you have device management, device configuration, over-the-air upgrade, and all the operations are involved. And the data is collected, processed, and then sent for billing, and also a lot of analytics. So all those, the entire end-to-end infrastructure, hardware, software, networking, everything is provided by ITRON. So like this, ITRON has about 8,000 utilities as customers all over the world. So,
Okay.
and so this is a quite good, it's a challenging work and pretty modern, and modernizing the grid is one of the main things. Then managing renewable energy sources, and then now managing electric vehicle is in the system. So like this, there are a lot of challenges which we continuously keep addressing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It was so informative. So, sir, what inspired you to move into the industry side of the engineering?
Yeah, so see, after your BE, BTech, and then you might go for higher studies, and so once you have completed your studies, or rather you decide where to stop, right? Whether you stop with masters or you finish your PhD postdoc, like, so then you have options. Either you can get into academics, right? You can join an institute and do teaching, do research. So that is one option. Another option is you can start your own company, right? Like you can become an entrepreneur. You can st have a startup. You can develop some either services or technology products. And the third option is you join someone who is already running a company, which might be a small one, which is a multinational, or even an Indian big company, right? So, and when you join a company, again, as I told you, like there are two options. The company can be a services company or it can be a product company, right? So, whether you join a company or whether you start a company, it can be either of them. So these are the kind of, of course, you have the option of getting into government, right? That's also very pretty promising options are there, right? Like we have companies like Bell, ISRO, BHEL, right? BMRCL, DRDO, like ADAS, so many government, CDAC, right? Like so many government companies are there possible. Or you can do MBA, get into management, or you can write ERS, like railway service, or IES, Indian Engineering Service. So there are, or you can write IAS. You, there are so many options available after your graduation, right? So so you can go in any of these ways, right? So it's just that in my case, I kind of decided at that time after masters to start working, and joined a startup by a friend. Right? So that's how. So basically, like multiple options are available, and once you start, you want to start contributing, then these are all the ways. Right?
Yes, sir. You mentioned there are so many opportunities for the electrical, not only electrical, but you
Mm.
have said some opportunities. Do you
Mm.
think, sir, AI is taking away all those opportunities? Is it making it less job opportunities?
See, AI is basically a tool, right?
Yes, sir.
So it it basically removes all manual work, right? Say for example, like if can you say a washing machine is taking the opportunity of you washing clothes, right? You can wash the clothes manually, right? Or you can put it into the washing machine, which will do the job for you, and you only tell it what to do, right? So you can decide how much clothes you have. Based on that, you can say, okay, I want this much water, this much cycle, this many rinse cycle, this many spin cycle. You tell everything and it will do everything, right? Now the washing machine obviously has taken away your job of washing clothes.
Yes, sir.
Now do you enjoy it or do you regret it,
We will
right?
enjoy because our effort is getting,
Exactly.
it's not getting wasted, sir.
Exactly. So it all depends upon, how you look at it. So AI is, yes, it's here to make our job easier, right? So earlier, whatever you had to do a lot of things manually, now it does by itself. And of course, the job it does is not as simple as washing clothes. It's slightly more complicated. And because of that, your job is important, that you need to tell exactly what you want it to do, right? And you need to also verify that it has done exactly what you wanted it to do. So that becomes your job. So your job becomes more of, being able to think clearly, being able to communicate clearly, being able to articulate clearly what you want, and being able to verify whether what has been done is what you expect. So now these becomes the skills that you need, right? Whereas doing the actual work can be done by the machine. So this is just the technology which comes naturally, right? Earlier people were worried. If you, I don't know, like you can ask your parents, like if you want to book a railway ticket, you used to go and fill the form, stand in the queue, and then book the ticket. And then came the electronic ticket booking, where you can earlier, if you have to book a ticket from one place to another place, each station had a quota. They will book only within that. Uh, then became electronic, so where you can book anywhere to anywhere from anywhere, but you have to still go to the railway station reservation counter and book. Then came the online IRCTC portal where you can book from wherever you are, right? So the technology, and when all these things happened, people were saying, oh, like the jobs of the people at the counter is gone, the jobs of this ticket booking people are gone. And same thing even with banking, right? So when banking was becoming digitized, people were saying, oh, the job will be gone. But jobs are not gone, right? People still have jobs. And only thing is, it has become much more convenient for everyone. And so the person who is doing the job, he or she should be willing to re-educate, update yourself, reskill yourself, and then use the available technology to do your work more efficiently. So as long as a person is willing to re-educate and reskill, there is not a problem.
So, sir, what skills do you feel students are currently lacking?
See, main thing is, first, the student should want to study. You should want to be better person. You should want to become the best of what you can be. Now, this is something no one can teach you, right? Now, students should want to become good. If you are an engineer, you should put in all your effort to become the best engineer, right? Now, whatever you do, you should have that drive, right? They say fire in the belly, like you should have that fire in you, that I need to be good. I should be, I'm willing to work. I'm willing to put in all my effort with whatever directions which I can get from people, right? Guidance I can get from people, and I'm willing to do the work, and I want to become good. Now, this motivation should be there, right? Otherwise, what's the point? Like you, you take birth like a dog and die like a dog without leaving any mark. What's the use, right? So that should be the basic fire in you, that I have to be someone. Understand? Now, different people will have different skills based on different opportunities, different interests, all those things. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are, whatever you do, right? You should have that fire in you, that any job I do, I will do it to the best of my ability, to the best perfection I can, right? No shoddy work, no lethargy, no half-hearted work. Now, all those things have no place. Understand? So, whatever you do, you should do the best, right? This is the primary thing which you need, right? And of course, you have to be 100% honest, 100% truthful, right? You cannot survive in this world if you tell a lie, right?
Yes, sir.
If your character becomes doubtful, if people think, oh, this person is not trustworthy, now your career is gone. Because this is a very small world, right? You have all kinds of LinkedIn and Glassdoor and so many things are there. And wherever you go, people will inquire about you with people whom you know. Understand? So suppose, let us say you go for a job. Now, people for referrals, people will check for background check with your professors, with the teachers. And then you work in a company for 5 years, and then you move to another company, you apply for another company. Now, to hire you in that company, they will do a background check with your manager in your current company, with your teammates, with your colleagues. Now, if you have broken the trust, if you are not trustworthy, if you are not honest, right? If you will elbow down others to come up, right? So if your basic character is not good, now it's very easy. It's a very small world, very connected world, and you will not be able to shine. So you have to be very, very careful that you have to be honest, truthful, sincere, hardworking, and you should work as a team. You should not, grab credit for what you have not done. You have to give credit to people for what others have done, because that's teamwork, right? So
Yes.
now, unless you have these, you will not be able to survive in the industry. Okay? So you have to be honest, you have to be truthful, you have to be trustworthy, right? And your colleagues, your seniors, everyone should be telling good words about you. They should guarantee for you that yes, this person is good, she's hardworking, she's a good team player, she's trustworthy. Now this should be the report with anyone talks to anyone whom you know. This is the basic skill needed, right? The basic thing which is needed. Your technical skills come only after that. Okay, fine. Technical skills, what you know, like all those things will come only after these, right? So basically, you should be trustworthy.
Yes.
Being trustworthy is the basic skill. Understand? Then comes communication. Can you communicate clearly? Right? Can you think clearly? Can you communicate clearly? Now, that is the second skill you need. Fine. So that there is a beautiful system called the pyramid model of communication. Okay, it's also called Minto model. Now, all of you, I would recommend that there are a lot of videos on it on YouTube, and you watch that. It's called the pyramid model of communication or Minto model of communication, or it's also called McKinsey model of communication. It's all the same. Okay. Lot of videos are there. Watch the videos and practice how you can communicate using that template, right? So communication is very important. You should be able to now, suppose if you have done your project for 3 months, you have done your 3, 4 months, you have done your project. Now, if someone asks you to explain your project in 2 minutes, you should be able to explain your project in 2 minutes. If someone says explain your project in 10 minutes, you should be able to explain your project in 10 minutes. If they say explain your project in 1 hour, you should be able to explain your project in 1 hour. So depending upon how much time they are giving you to explain your project, you should be able to explain it in a way that the important things are covered in within that time which is given for you to explain. That is what is the pyramid method of communication. right? So that communication skill is important. You should know how to communicate the most important things first, and then go into the details, right?
So,
So communication is very important. So that is the second skill. Then other skills you can pick up as you go, right? So these are basic skills you need. You should be trustworthy, and trustworthy has got three components. One is you should be truthful, you should be a team player, and you should be hardworking. These three put together makes you a trustworthy person. Then you should be able to communicate clearly. These two, if you are able to manage well, right, then the rest you can do it very well. The third, of course, is time management, right? You should be able to prioritize things and work on the most important things, all these things. And read, you have to read, right? So there are beautiful books. So there is a basic books. I will tell you two books, basic books, which all engineers, everyone, in fact, not only engineers, everyone should read. One is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right?
so
By Stephen Covey. 7 Habits. Just search for 7 Habits. You'll find it on Amazon. You'll find it on any bookstore, right? 7 Habits, and there is even a simpler version of it, written by Stephen Covey's son, called 7 Habits for Highly Effective Teenagers, which is a very written for school children, but then like it's a kind of simplified version. But I would, because you are only college students, I would recommend the original book, right? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Second book is What the Heck Do I Do with My Life by Ravi Venkatesan, right? Ravi Venkatesan is a very senior manager, management person, technocrat, entrepreneur. So he has written a book called What the Heck Do I Do with My Life? So it's a very recent book, right? Post-COVID book. So it's really good. These two books, all of you should read. 7 Habits and What the Heck Do I Do with My Life? Understand? Read it multiple
yes,
times. Have a personal copy, buy and keep, read it, reread it. Every year, at least one round you have to read
yes, sir, I
both the
will.
books.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Then it will give you a lot of directions for everything that you need to do in your life.
Yes, sir. Nowadays, we are hearing more about the smart grid terms. So, what exactly is the
Mhm.
smart grid and why is it important today, sir?
See, the electrical industry is facing a lot of challenges. Okay. Now, so one is urbanization, right? So people moving to cities. When you say cities, then it is densely populated, and they use within that region they will use lot of power, right, and also generate lot of waste, pollution, like traffic. So basically urbanization, right, is one problem which humanity has to solve. And then also as development happens, the energy consumption keeps increasing, right? The difference between a developing country and a developed country is what is the per capita energy consumption, right? So the per capita energy consumption goes high as a country becomes developed. And we want all the countries to be developed, right? So when all the countries become developed, then the per capita energy usage of people will go up, and, and that becomes very unsustainable. So we have to have sustainable technologies so that even when all the people in the earth, still the energy is available in a sustainable way. So renewable energy is needed, and energy wastage should be reduced. The proper management of the energy, how to generate energy without polluting, how to generate energy without affecting the resources, right? So many problems are there which we have to solve. And then we have what is called as consumer expectation. So earlier, if you see, if you want to communicate to someone, you write a letter and then you post it, and then it takes 1 week to go and reach there. And then that person receives it, reads it, and sends a reply, and it comes here. Today we have all Instagram, WhatsApp. We want everything immediately, right? Even when you order everything, you want everything to come in 10 minutes, blink it, or like. And also, even within the 10 minutes, you want to keep tracking where the delivery boy is now on the road. So you want this kind of immediate tracking, immediate feedback. Now the same expectation is there even in your energy usage, right? Earlier, the person will come once in a month and take reading and go. Now, today you want to know, okay, currently at this time, how much energy am I using in my house? At this rate, if I use, then how much will be my bill at the end of the month? You want to see all that, right? And then you want to know, am I using more or less compared to my neighbors, right? So am I efficient in using? Am I paying more bill or less bill compared to my neighbors? So you want to know all that, right? The consumer expectation has become very, very demanding, and it is okay. Like, so now we need to develop the technologies to cater to all these things, right? So the development, urbanization, consumer expectations. So all these things are there. And because of climate change also, there are a lot of the disasters, natural disasters have increased, and tsunami, and like cyclones. And so once a cyclone comes and goes, like, a lot of disruption to the electricity distribution system will be there. So you have to bring it up as soon as possible again. So facing natural disasters, the expectation has become more severe now, more high now, right? And to do all these things, there are good technologies. You have cloud technologies, you have embedded systems, right? You have machine learning, you have AI, and the computation cost has come down. Your memory cost has come down. You can store huge amount of data. Big data is there. So now using all this cloud computing, big data, AI, ML, right? And also all the embedded systems, networks. Using all these things, we can cater to all these requirements of the people. So the whole problem is this, right? And that is what is smart grid, right? So you have all these problems, and which are, like, unique to the modern time. Because earlier, like, the automation and monitoring, everything was there only for high voltage. Like, the transmission lines used to be monitored, but distribution lines, like, they were only once in a month. You just measure what is there, or maybe for industries, like, they will only do once in a day. They will measure, and then they will only. But the company coming and measuring will happen only once in a month. So, but then now, like, the demand is more. You want to manage things better, more efficiently, and the consumer expectation is also high. So you have to monitor almost 24/7, like, your electricity usage, all those things. And so this you need smart grid for all these things, right?
Can you explain the role of smart meters in modern power systems, sir?
See, when you say smart meters, so there are international standards. Okay. So the standard is called AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. So a smart meter has to be 24/7 on the network. Okay. It can be cellular network, or it can be RF network, right? And these days we are using NB-IoT, LoRa, so many different networks are available, Zigbee. So, and it should be 24/7 on the network, and it should communicate to the server. And the measurement, the power usage, right, should be energy usage, and then voltage, current. All these things have to be measured at least once every 15 minutes, and it should be sent at least once a day to the server. So this is called AMI 1.0. Okay. So at least every 15 minutes, granularity, data should be collected, and at least once in a day it should be sent to the server, and like, it should be available, and from that the billing and all those things have to be done, and a lot of analytics can be done and all that. And also you should have two-way communication. So One is, okay, you are sending the data from the meter to the server. Also, from the server, you should be able to ping. You should be able to check, okay, what is the current, what is the voltage now on this in this house, or what is the energy usage, what is the power usage now, how many kilowatts is being used now, or like in the past 1 hour, how many kilowatt hours were used, what is the energy usage. So these kind of, like, you should be able to query, and also you should be able to connect or disconnect remotely from the server only. You should be able to connect. You should be able to disconnect from the house, and also you should be able to reconnect. So the connect and disconnect also should be possible. So all these things are defined, right? Also, you have what is called as a voltage profile, energy profile, like over time, how much it has been consuming. So these specifications are there as a part of the AMI, which define that this is a smart meter. So this is needed so that you can keep track of, as I told you, like you will be able to manage the demand and respond and the supply better. You'll be able to give more real-time information to the consumer, right? And also you can support even things like prepaid metering, right? Just like your cell phone has got prepaid. No, similarly you can make prepaid. So for example, if there is a wedding chowdhury, wedding hall, now the person can do prepayment, right? Or now government schools and government buildings, for all of them, like, you're going for prepayment is a better approach. So there are a lot of cases where prepayment is better than post payment. So those kind of facilities can be done. So all these things can be done if you have a smart meter.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Sir, can data analytics help in predicting failures in power system?
Yes, so data analytics is very important. Like, so once you have this data collected, as I told you, like
Yes, sir.
AMI 1.0 is 15 minutes granularity. And when you go for AMI 2.0, then it becomes still higher, like 5 minutes, 1 minute, and you can even have 1 second data available at the edge, like on the meter, because the electricity meters these days, they are quite uh, powerful devices. They run Linux, they run ARM chips, so they are quite capable, and they have access to high frequency data, high resolution data, right from 1 second, or even we are now these days we are working with 32K data, like 32K readings per second, right? So which means you can actually look at the waveform, you can run Fourier transform on the waveform of the current on the meter, and then you can look for some anomalies. So all those things are possible on the meter now. So all these data analysis, so all these things come for data analysis. So when you say data analysis, like first thing is the data availability. Now you have one kind of high frequency data available on the meter itself, where you can do you can run you can design algorithms, you can run analysis, which will be called edge analytics. Edge means like on the meter itself, right? And then there is another kind of analytics where you do on the cloud, which is the cloud analytics, where the data is collected, transmitted over the network, and then you have it on the cloud. Now, there are different types of analytics which you do in different places, because you cannot transmit too much amount of data over the network. So on the edge, you do analytics where you can analyze huge amounts of data, right, which are collected like maybe at 32K interval, 1K interval, or 1 second interval, which you can process on the edge itself. Now, whereas on the cloud, what you do is you have huge amount of storage. So you can have data which is there for 13 months. So you can say, okay, like how is my consumption compared to what I consumed last year, right? Like how much, how does it, because it's all seasonal, right? Like summer, winter patterns will be there. So you can compare those patterns. And then you can also compare the data with other houses in the neighborhood of similar size. So basically, when you want to do analytics across time or across other houses and other systems, then it cannot be done on the edge. So those kind of analytics, you have to do it on the cloud only, right? Because it needs huge amount of data, huge amount of compute power. Whereas when you want to have high frequency data, then that kind of data analytics should be done on the edge. So the data access there, like using the data analytics, you can come up with so many outcomes. You can infer so many things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What do you look in as a professional? What do you look in for the interns? What are qualities required?
See, as I told you, first thing we look for is you should have fire in the belly, right? You should have that fire in you first. Okay. So how do we know that you have fire in you? Now, you
Yes,
would have done something beyond your academics.
yes, sir.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Huh. Okay. So when in your resume, you should have minimum, you should have a LinkedIn account,
Mm.
right? Where you have put in everything which is required. And you should have a GitHub account where all your projects which you have done, they are all uploaded there, right? And your GitHub account should have sufficient amount of content, right? So put everything there, your assignments, your projects, and then you should have done lot of projects, right? And then so we look at when you look at your profile, we see okay what all you have done. Now, suppose if you are an electrical engineering, now say you might be in electrical and electronics, let us say second year or third year. Now we'll ask you, okay, fine, like what subjects have you had? Now you should be able to tell what subjects you are having. And we don't ask you for too many details, but at least you should be able to tell what topics are covered in each subject, right? That much, at least you should be up to date. So you, right from your first year, every subject, you should know what topics are covered. Okay. So which obviously you will get if you're preparing for GATE, you would have covered everything. Okay. So I would recommend that everyone prepares for GATE and everyone writes GATE. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because GATE is the entry point for you to go for higher education, or even if you want to join in ISRO or DRDO or any government jobs, everywhere GATE is what is needed. So right from your first year of engineering, you should know, okay, at the third year, I'm going to write GATE. And so, which means whatever I study in this semester, I should not forget it, because you have to remember it for 3 years, right? So it is not that, okay, this semester I just finished the exam and now I forget everything what I have studied. Now that will not work.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So moment you have this GATE as the focus, automatically you will know that whatever you're studying is for long term, right? So automatically you know that, okay, I'm studying my entire 4 years of engineering, or first 3 years, right? Like at the end of 3 years, roughly you will write. So your 3 years of engineering is a preparation for GATE. Fine. Then you will study sincerely. You will not forget what you have studied. And also, whatever you study, you will ensure that you understand when you're studying. That is important, right? So you should have that focus, right? So whatever you have studied, you should remember, you should know, you should be thorough, right? And then now Python programming is mandatory for everyone. Doesn't matter whether you are which branch of engineering you are in, right? You should be able to program comfortably in Python, right? So these days, Python has become the default tool for science, engineering, even biology, right? For everything, Python is the standard tool. So you should be very, very familiar with Python. And
Python or
to
the C++,
be
plus plus, sir?
comfortable with Python programming, you Python is better.
Yes, sir.
At least one programming language you should know, and
Mm.
Python is much more flexible. And if you know Python, C++ you can pick up, right? If you can do that also, but Python is mandatory. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And to ensure that your Python programming is good, you create an account on the online coding platforms, right? Lead Code, Code Chef, Hacker Earth, there are so many platforms. Now, at least on one or two platforms, you should have account. You should practice programming on them, because there you will have the evaluation also. Constantly, it will be evaluated. So now, if you have a good lead code score, now that will be a good advantage. Now that also you have to put it in your resume. Your resume should have at least one coding platform account link should be there. All these things link should be there, and the recruiter will click and go and see. So you cannot put something which is not true. Okay. So programming is necessary irrespective of what branch of engineering you are in. And so if you're in electrical electronics, like, ensure that you have sufficient programming background, right? That is needed. And then when we look at your profile, we will ask you which of these is mandatory and which of these are optional. Like which of the projects you did on your own interest, and which of these were academic projects, part of some course. So whatever you have done by yourself, that holds a lot of value, because it shows that you have fire in the belly. You are not just doing only whatever is mandatory and minimum and then trying to graduate. No, you are really interested. You are going extra step to become a very good electrical engineer, to become a very good electronics engineer. You are putting in the effort. Now that proof will come in that you are doing projects, right? So you have to do projects. You have to do more projects than what is mandatory, and do internships, right? Everything will add to your uh, portfolio.
So, yes, sir. It was
Understand?
so informative
And it
as
is
a.
very easy to search for projects.
Yes, sir. Sir, you are associated with
Mm.
IEEE. So, can you share
And
your experience?
for your yeah, see, IEEE is a very good way for me, it is mainly for giving back to the student community, right?
Mm.
So now I'm able to be here and talk to you because Satish sir has introduced me to you, and because of that, I have got this connection. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is my way of giving back to the student community, right? So, so IEEE is a very good way for professionals to give back to the students, and for the students to get in touch with the industry and become better engineers, right? So it works very good both the ways.
Yes. Also, we heard you are the author of one book. So, what inspired you to write this book for modern minds, sir?
Yeah, so the book, it's called Bhagavad Gita for Modern Minds. So this is something which is needed. So see, when you are in school, now if you do something stupid, they will say, okay, bring your parents. And they will scold your parents, and they will ask your parents, why are you behaving like this? Right? Now, once you finish 12th and when you get into college, now, even though, of course, your parents pay the school, college fees and everything, but if you do something stupid, now, unless it is something really serious, they will not call your parents, because you are responsible for your behavior. You are responsible for what you do. And once you graduate out of college, you are still more responsible for what you are, right? So as you mature in life, the more and more responsibility comes into your hands for what you think, what you believe, the way you behave, right? Your attitude, the way you respond to situations. Now you are responsible for all of this. But unfortunately, the education system does not train you for this, right? Like they don't help train you to stand on your own feet, right? When you graduate from school to college, now it's a big shift because now you are independent, you are responsible for yourself. But then you don't have the tools for that. You don't have a proper understanding of who am I, what is the purpose of life, what am I supposed to do, what is right, what is wrong, right? How should I behave with others? What is my obligation to others? Like, you have absolutely no idea of all these things. And unfortunately, like, we are not taught all these things. Now, this book is basically it is to answer these questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Who am I? What is right? What is wrong? How do I decide what is right and what is wrong? What is my purpose in life? Why am I here for? What does success mean in life? What is my obligation to others? What are my rights? What are my duties? Right? So all these things is what the book is about. And that is what Gita talks about. So we take hints from the Gita and answer all these questions.
It's just an English translation of Bhagavad Gita or the different from Bhagavad Gita, sir?
No, yeah, it is. It's the book is called Essence of the Bhagavad Gita, right?
Hmm.
So basically, it is not doesn't cover the entire Gita.
Hmm.
It takes the important portions of the Gita and presents it in a structured way. Like, say, it starts with, okay, what is the problem? What is the goal? What is the goal of life? Right? What is the path? What are the problems in you trying to achieve the goal of life? Right?
Yes,
So
sir.
who am I? So it answers all those questions. So it is more topic based. Right?
Yes, sir. You have experience in both technology as well as in the spirituality. So, in today's fast moving world, how can students stay calm and focused, sir?
See, everyone is a philosopher. Everyone is a spiritual person. Just that they have not given time to think about it. Right? So you have spent so many years in training yourself as to become an engineer, right?
Yes, sir.
Right from your nursery, you studied ABC, and then you studied, simple machines, levers, Newton's law, right? Like all starts from there. Like your science education has been a complete, like almost a 12-year, 15-year long journey, right? And also you also live, right? You live and then you interact with others. But then problem is you're not taken a formal training on morality, communication, how to face situations. But these are all life skills which are needed, right? So whether you like it or not, you are actually operating in this domain, right? But so any thinking person should say, I am supposed to operate in all these domains, but I'm not being trained in this. So you should seek out answers to all these questions, right? And that is where, so whether you like it or not, you are living a spiritual life, whether you know it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not. So when you are anyway having to live a life, you better read and know the fundamentals of that life, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, if you describe your journey, can you describe your journey in one word, sir?
It's basically you learn and you give, right?
Hmm.
See, so the whole purpose is like your entire academic life, why do you study, right? Why do you study thermodynamics? Why do you study electrical engineering? So that you can be efficient in serving the society, right? A person who has not studied, right? Let us say a person who has not even done schooling. What can he do? How can he serve the society? He can cut grass, he can break stones. That's all that he can do. But a person like you, like who has been trained, who has become an engineer, now you can serve the society a lot more, much more efficiently, right? So your entire training, your entire education is basically to make you more valuable person in the society who can serve the society in a much more efficient way, in a much more valuable way. So life is nothing but like you learn, prepare to serve, and then you serve. That's it. Right?
One habit that changed your life.
Mm, one habit, read, right? Read,
Yes,
learn, study, listen to podcasts, listen to lectures, right?
yes,
See, there's a very beautiful saying which says, if you don't read, there is no difference between you and a person who cannot read, right?
yes,
Of course, in college, you are forced to read, but even after college, you should continue to read. And you should not only read what is made mandatory for you, you have to read on your own also. You have to pick up and you should read, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite book, sir? Apart from the essence of Bhagavad Gita you wrote, which is your favorite book?
The two books which I told you, Seven
Yes, sir.
Habits, right? And What the Heck Do I Do with My Life? These
Yes,
two
sir.
are really good books which everyone should read. And then, other than that, Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. That's a beautiful book, which again, I think all these books should be made as textbooks for everyone.
Yes, sir.
And they should they should make everyone read, and they should keep test on the book. Examination should be kept so that you thoroughly read it.
Yes, sir. What is success according to you, sir?
See, success is two things. If you are able to give, contribute to the society, that is one dimension of success. And second thing is if you have become a better person. Better person means like, you've completely solved your anger problem. No anger, no jealousy, no arrogance, no lust, no greed, right? So these are all the personal defects of the mind, right? These are all animal qualities.
Yes, sir.
So all these, no, lust, greed, anger, jealousy, ego, these are all animal qualities. Now, if you have solved all these problems and if you have overcome your animal nature and if you have truly manifested yourself as a human being, then you are person. There is a personal success, right? And then if you are able to contribute to the society, if you have created a change in the life of lot of people, then that is your outward success, right?
Yes, sir.
So you should have both. You should have personal success where you have become a real proper human being, right? And second thing is you should have created a change in the life of others, a
Yes,
positive
sir.
change in the life of others.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It really, the podcast was really good, sir. At last, if you want to give suggestion to the students, what will you give, sir?
Yeah, so be serious about life, have fun also, but then like you have to do something in life. You have to leave a mark, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
should not, so doesn't matter in what field, right? You should leave a positive mark in life before you pop off. Everyone will die one day, but the world should remember you for something, for
Yes,
something
sir.
good, right? So think about it and ensure that the world remembers you for something good. And for that, be a good person and help people, serve people, do something. Like, don't waste your life. Life is a great opportunity, right? You should not waste it.
Yes, sir. That was really a wonderful conversation with you, sir. On behalf of IEEE PS DSC, we sincerely thank you for giving us time to share your experience and also thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the
How did you feel
opportunity.
about the podcast?
Yeah, it was good. I think hopefully it reaches a lot of students, and
Yes, sir.
you have asked a lot of meaningful questions on behalf of the students.
Yes, sir.
So I hope it reaches a lot of students, and if any of them have any questions, like I'm always available to answer the questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.